and on.
Bum, bum, ba-da-da, bum. Oh, it's very happy Bindi on a Tuesday morning. Welcome,
Yes,
everybody, to the Blue Review presented by LAX. I'm Marcus Grant alongside Greg Bergman and Parker Bell. And hey, happy post Ohtani Day. Look, it wasn't spectacular, but it was good, right? I mean, Greg, you walked in this morning, you said we're feeling good. We got to be feeling good about yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, the guy went out there and threw 100 a couple times and had some pitches that were just like, oh, that was kind of nasty. But he no strikeouts. He didn't get really barreled just one time. The Luis Ariz, I think it was like 96 off the bat, something, or 95.6, something like that off the bat. But besides that, everything was soft contact. He got to 2 strikes on everybody. He looks like he's going to be the pitcher that we think he's going to be. He just needs to ramp himself up. He was just really jacked up. He went from 94, 95 in his bullpen sessions to throwing 100 miles an hour. The guy is a freak of nature that is just good at absolutely everything. So if you want to be excited about what you saw last night, you should be, because it was exciting, and that's a really, really, really good starting pitcher that we're going to start having soon for the long haul.
I said, oh, by the way, Parker, on top of that, he had a couple of hits and drove in some runs too, just for good measure, to remind you that Shohei Ohtani really is a unicorn out there.
The Spectrum feed and the producers got to for the first time recognize what it's like to go, oh shoot, and have to cut immediately, because he didn't even go to the dugout. He just stood at the on-deck circle and said, give me my stuff. I'm going right to bat.
How crazy was that, by the way? Like, if the fact that you don't even go in the dugout, like talk to the coaches, talk to Doc, and be like, okay, hey, so this is what you see here. What you? No. Give me my stuff. Let me go hit. Like that.
Well, and he had somebody bring him his stuff, like a valet, just like bring him his things to the on deck circle so he could put on like the shin guard and the batting gloves and everything. That is all, sort of burying the lead here. The Dodgers get a 6-3 win over the Padres, which is a good opportunity to tell you about the folks at LAX. Transforming the travel experience, saving guests time. Looking forward to early next year when hopefully that People Mover train will be up and running. So for more information, you go to flylax.com/transforminglax. So the Dodgers do get the win. So Greg, I'm not going to say I was worried yesterday, but man, Dylan Cease, he started off on fire, striking out the first 5 guys. The only guy in the first 2 innings to make any sort of contact was Max Muncy, who hit a weak dribbler back to the mound. It did feel a little bit, though, like Cease was pitching on adrenaline, maybe because he was facing Shohei and all the excitement around there. Because, I mean, you talk about Shohei throwing 100. Cease was hitting triple digits regularly, too. And that first 2 innings, he was magical. I mean, there's just no way around it.
No, yeah, he looked really good those first 2 innings. He just looked like he did against the Dodgers the week prior when he had 11 strikeouts and completely shut them down. But then all of a sudden it just kind of went away. Like Andy Pages got a hit in the second inning, and apparently he was trying to give signs to Conforto, which didn't actually help anything because Conforto just strike out. He was just a complete mess.
So is that why the hit by pitch, apparently, is that what that was about?
Yeah, the hit by pitch, they were saying that's what he thought it was, so he got really upset. Yeah. Don't know if it actually was because of that. And also Pages said he completely overreacted, but I don't care that he overreacted, Parker.
That stare.
The Greg,
stare was enough to make me jump like behind the TV screen.
It was incredible. Just the eyes bulging, and like, that's a dude that's been through some stuff, like he's 23. There's 23 years old or something like that. You feel like, all right, you're like a 45-year-old, 23-year-old that's been through quite a lot in your lifetime. Like, I'm not messing with you.
Yeah,
Pages, Marcus, you mentioned Pages, not the guy to mess with, and I feel like the chat would agree. I mean, anybody on this team, Pages, come on, don't want to mess with that guy.
I mean, to Greg's point, this is a guy who grew up in Cuba, defected, has come over, is still trying to figure out how to get the rest of his family over. They mentioned on the broadcast he talks to his dad every day. Occasionally, there are electrical outages that sort of prevent that, but on top of everything. On top of his journey to the major leagues, I mean, he had a journey to the country and just trying to get himself established, and now is playing baseball at an all-star caliber level. Would love to see him get in because he's having a phenomenal season and was really the guy that got things going yesterday against Dylan Cease, who was having a phenomenal start to the ball game. Don't look now, fellas, because the Dodgers have 3 games left on this death march that we were talking about, right? All the games against teams with winning records. And I did some quick math this morning, which is always dangerous, but the Dodgers right now are guaranteed a winning record through this March.
Yep.
As of now, they are 15-11. What started as a half game lead in the division is now 2.5 games in the division. They have won 6 of the previous 8 series. I mean, Parker, I'm not going to say this was always pretty. I mean, it was rough at times, but if they can get through this and still have a lead, one, take that, Bill Plaschke. But 2, it feels like this team is ready to maybe go on a run in the next few weeks or so.
If they are able to get through this stretch, like you mentioned, not just with a winning record, but with a little bit of a bump on top of that, they're poised for yet another postseason run. I mean, this is the stretch that builds postseason winners. I know that everybody's going to be like, it's still early in the season, but this is the hardest stretch of the season. So they're not going to get a more battle-tested moment like this when they're dealing with pitching injuries like they did in the postseason last year, where they have to kind of pick and throw different bullpen guys around. So shout out to guys like Kasparius who are handling business. You know, he let one go. Well,
yeah,
I think it was just the Machado one.
He does that every once in a while.
It
happens.
Machado's going to possibly get to 500 home runs and 3,000 hits. It's going to happen every once in a while.
That was what 359 was that?
380. Yeah, I don't know. I don't care about Manny Machado. Screw that guy.
To be honest, we don't give a damn.
No.
Yeah, Marcus, to your point, this stretch right here, this is what's going to make this not make or break this Dodgers team, but this is what's going to make them who they really are, find their identity. And I mean, if guys like Conforto can kind of follow suit at some point, then we're talking another World Series run easily.
Conforto. I had a thought last night, Greg, so I know how much you love Michael Conforto.
He's my favorite Dodger ever.
I had to mention the name to spark this combo.
He had a couple of, every now and then he barrels one up. I mean, he's not hitting well. I'm not going to try and spin this, but he also does seem at times to be the victim of bad luck. Like he hit one pretty good yesterday. It just happened to be right at Manny Machado. I'm maybe this is me trying to be positive, right? Like Dodger blue skies and everything, but it just feels like at some point this luck is going to turn. Like he's going to go on a run where he, puts together a 5 or 6 game hitting streak and he just comes up with some big hits. I mean, maybe this is just me being Pollyanna about it, but I choose to believe this.
You are. It's okay. You can be. It's good to be positive. People should be positive in life. I probably should be more positive about a lot of different things. They put up a graphic yesterday in the game when they were talking about Conforto and how bad it's been and how much it's getting better. And he's starting to hit much better. And he's starting to barrel some balls. And they showed a graphic of it with runners in scoring position that through the first, I don't know, I think it was like 50 games of the season, he was batting .043 with runners in scoring position. Since then, he's 3 for 12. So that's way better.
I mean,
this is what we're getting excited about.
Not wrong.
He got 3 hits in his 12 chances with runners in scoring position. That's what we're. Yeah, look, it was something.
It was something.
Yeah. It's
I feel bad. The broadcast kind of set up Joe for disaster there because he was like,
you saw that, right?
His excitement was kind of like, and since then he's been looking a lot better. And then it popped up, and he was like, 3 hits.
Just in such a bad spot for him to be. It's just a mess. But he did barrel that one, and he has been hitting better. It's just that when you're looking at the roster and you're looking at the team and you're trying to figure out what the best lineup situation is, Conforto is not the one that you want in there because it stops. It dies. They went on in that, what was it, the 4th inning when they went on the run, they got the 5 hits, they got the 5 runs against Cease.
4th, yeah.
It stopped with Conforto. Like Conforto just stopped it dead. And that's what's kind of the issue is. And you have enough guys now that you can play in the field. You can, especially a guy like Ha-Seong Kim. I understand that Dylan Cease throws a 100, but let him see it. Like it's just time to stop with a little bit with this Conforto experience. I think we're going to have it for a lot longer. It's just frustrating to watch rallies come to an end because of Conforto consistently.
Yeah, and I think it's more frustrating too because everybody else seems to be picking it up, at least most of the everyday guys, right? I mean, Max Muncy, for as much as he struggled in the first month or so, the average is up to 241. He's drawing more walks. He's looking more like the Max Muncy we're used to seeing. Teoscar, who went through that slump after he came back from the injured list, is starting to put it together, and he's starting to hit for some more power again. The only guy, weirdly, the guy who's not hitting for power is Freddie Freeman because he's gone over a month since his last home run, but he's also hitting 330. So,
yeah, he got that single up the right side, and you could see it on his face, like he wasn't happy because he hit it on the ground. Yeah. Like he's trying to get the ball up. It's just he's Freddie Freeman. He's going to be okay. And if this bad Freddie Freeman, bad Freddie Freeman is batting 330, they're going to be just fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to be okay at some point. Parker, Greg mentioned Ha-Seong Kim. I mean, we haven't seen him in a couple days. I don't know if he's going to be in the lineup today. We'll find out in a little bit. But I'm struggling to understand the logic. I know Dave Roberts basically his logic was because I said so the other day, but it just feels like it's getting harder to keep Kim out of this lineup with the way he's been playing.
Yeah, Dave, you're really making us youngins mad here. Everybody born under 99, we're just not going to see for a 6-day stretch. I mean, we don't obviously Yamamoto and stuff we're not going to see because of the pitching styles, but it's tough. Greg has hammered it down on this show nonstop, and I'm on the same page. Play him every day, because what's the point in seeing these Conforto at bats? Tommy's starting to kind of figure stuff out. You can put him in the outfield, you can put him wherever, and you can keep Ha-Seong every single day. And second, where is he now, Greg, in terms of against lefties? Because that has been the conversation this whole time. And remember last time?
He got an out.
He made an out. He's 3 for 4 now, so, obviously you can't play him against lefties.
Experiment over.
Over.
He got one. He got out on one pitch.
But I mean, Mark is 382 on the season with 11 RBIs, and I mean the OPS of 969. It's been 68 at bats. This is a big enough sample size to realize that he is a major league hitter. He's been doing it against teams that obviously are like divisional rivals and good teams in the league. It's upsetting, but at the same time, where Dave is at, who knows if it's even Dave? I think that's my. My mindset is Dave will do what Dave has to do.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point too, right? Like, how much of this is Dave Roberts? How much of this is coming from Friedman and the front office about how much they want to play Kim or what have you? But it does feel frustrating knowing that they could have an outfield where it's Pages, Edman, and Teoscar, where you put Kim at second base, play at the middle with Mookie Betts. That feels like the best 9 that they can put out there on any given day, but they are committed at this point to getting Conforto at bats. I think the contract sort of dictates that. Although, I mean, I was thinking, Greg, at some point, right, if this continues, you have to pull the plug, right? I don't know when that is. I don't know if it's after the All-Star break. I don't know if it's August, September, whatever. But I just feel like there's a point where if you're Dave Roberts and you are starting to put together what, hopefully will be your playoff lineup, if Conforto hasn't come around, they just can't. I don't think they can carry this into the postseason, can they?
No, absolutely not. If this is how it's going to be through the All-Star break, then yeah, I can see him getting moved at the trade deadline for something where even if it's just like a minor leaguer or a player to be named later. I can see that somebody that needs a left fielder that he can get moved. If he's still hitting like this by that long, there's no way that you can continue this experiment. You have to go to the things that are working. You said that he hit the ball hard. It was right at somebody. That's what we said about James Outman consistently, and Outman can't make it past AAA. Now, different players, obviously, one's a veteran, one's basically still a rookie, but some guys are just consistently unlucky. And really, if you're going to strike out as much as he has, I just assume that he's not going to be here through the trade deadline. If this is what we're going to get, he needs to start hitting consistently and hitting with runners in scoring position, because that's what's going to happen in front of him. It is. He's going to have guys on base in front of him because of how good this lineup is, especially with Pages and Muncy hitting well, all of that.
So I just quickly need to stop what we're doing here to mention something in the chat quickly, which Thomas Fizek, we've gotten comments from you before, and I love interacting with you, but the most recent comment, I would get rid of Teo.
What?
And he goes on to follow with, he jogs and doesn't hustle for fly balls, swings with one arm.
We're not
Marcus.
getting rid. We're not moving Teo Hernandez.
No.
That's a non-starter.
Look, I'll
There you go,
give
Thomas. End
I'll
of
give
discussion.
I'll give you this, Thomas. Like he swings at a lot of bad pitches. I consistently 2 or 3 times a game I think, what are you swinging at,
Right.
Teo? It's consistently outside, it's high, it's low. He swings at a lot of pitches. If anything's in the strike zone, he tends to get a hit, but guys don't pitch him in the strike zone because he swings at everything outside of it. So that's something that he needs to get. That will come around. When we need Teo to be big, I really believe that he will be big for us. He just went on a streak of hitting 3 home runs in three games. Like he was playing very, very well. So you got to give him time. You give Teo time because we saw what he did last year. You don't give Conforto time because he's never done anything of note.
And look, to Thomas's point, I get it. Like Teoscar Hernandez is never going to be a Gold Glove right fielder. Right. He's not that guy.
No.
That's not why they have him there. That's not why they're
all.
paying him. He will give you adequate defense. Does not have a particularly strong arm, but what he gives you on offense more than makes up for it. And I remember this coming into the season. Remember, we talked about one of the weaknesses on this team being outfield defense. We didn't expect Andy Pages to become the outfield assist machine that he has so far this year.
Almost had Tatis there.
Almost had Tatis at the plate. I mean, that was an absolute laser that he threw from center field in the first inning and was just a touch late.
Took a perfect slide.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that real fast?
Sure.
There's no reason. Shohei got screwed on that, right? Like that was
because Machado should have been out on the check swing.
Yeah, should have been out on the check. That was just complete absurdity to not call him out on that pitch. It was.
And is that what did it for you, Greg, for the Karros compliment? I think, or was it one of somebody in our chat?
I said that about Karros. I don't think it was that moment. There was something else though, but I do really enjoy listening to Eric Karros on the broadcast.
Yeah, he's like, listen, there's been check swings that are close, but that is one of the worst ones I've seen.
Look, we got 2 guys on the broadcast that are phenomenal. So Oral Hershiser teaches you something every single game. He's amazing with Joe. They have a great relationship. It's a really good broadcast. Eric Karros is really good because he doesn't give a flying F about what he says or about who it is. He just goes out there, like, I'm going to talk how I want to talk. I'm going to say what I want to say. And it really doesn't matter what you think, whether you like it or not. Like he'll criticize the pitchers. He'll criticize the other teams. It's amazing. I think he does a fantastic job. I'm with you. I love listening to him.
Yeah, no, it's really refreshing. I do like, and he does a lot of national broadcasts as well. So if I hear him on a national broadcast, I'll stop and watch, even if it's not the Dodgers, just because I think he's really, really good at what he's doing. And so, look, as much as we all love Oral and he's fantastic as well, Eric Karros doing a great job. So I just wanted to give him a shout out for the work he's doing on these broadcasts for sure. Game 2 of the 4-game set tonight. If you look on the interwebs, it says that the starter for the Dodgers is TBD. I assume that's a weird way of spelling Matt Sauer, just because it feels like he's going to be the guy. I mean, I know they haven't said anything officially yet, or have they, Greg? I don't know. But,
no, I haven't seen it, but like, are you comfortable with Matt Sauer starting another game? He got lit up and he just ate it the last time that he was out there.
Well, the first inning or two, he was solid. And then I think it was a third inning where it all kind of fell apart on him.
Yeah.
And then at that point, Dave Roberts is like, well, it's your show, man. You're just going to have to wear it.
I can see Jack Dreyer, but they did use because Shohei only went a little bit and Kasperius didn't get through the 6th. Yeah, they used a lot of pitchers too yesterday. So that's a situation where like having a bullpen game here today is kind of tough. So I don't know if they bring somebody up. I doubt it, but it looks like it could.
Is
Wroblewski still on?
Well, he just pitched. Wroblewski just pitched, so I can't imagine he's even built up to be able to do that.
And there's some talk that it could be Wroblewski maybe on Thursday, I think.
Oh God, more bullpen games. What are we?
What it could be? So we've got. No, actually, I take that back. No.
Wednesday's a big night.
I think it's Emmett Sheehan on Wednesday and Yamamoto on Thursday. So scratch that. So no Wroblewski, at least not scheduled for now. So.
But he'll have to be on standby for that. for the Wednesday game. Just, returning Sheehan first game, had a couple good rehab starts, but that'll be actually an interesting one, Greg. Sheehan, we're seeing another young guy come back. I mean, how excited are you to see him?
Yeah, he was pitching well when he got injured, so I'd be very happy to see him. Like, as many starting pitchers as you can have down the stretch, the better, in my opinion, especially because we had nothing. So, and waiting on Blake Snell, I mean, I guess people are waiting on Tyler Glass now. I don't know if I really am, but just because he's frustrating. But yes, we're waiting on him. Waiting on all these guys, it's tough. And now you're still building up Ohtani, so he's kind of taxing the bullpen on his days. So there's that from the beginning of the season. I just want to see how Emmett does, because he was pitching extremely well. It's really nice, too, but at the end of this, Marcus, once you're done with San Diego, they can kind of mess around a little bit. I mean, don't mess around too much, but Washington, Colorado, Kansas City, the White Sox. I mean, those are the next 4 series.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it definitely lightens up quite a bit. In fact, I believe statistically the Dodgers have the easiest schedule the rest of the way. So yeah, I mean, there are opportunities for them to maybe experiment with some things, but also to maybe open up a little bit of a lead, get them some breathing room in the division, especially knowing now that the Giants have Rafael Devers coming to add to that lineup. I mean, at some point you feel like the Padres are probably going to make a move to probably add some more offense as well, because that's a big need for them. So the more the Dodgers can open up some space, I think the better off they will be. On top of everything else I mentioned about the record through this death march, if they win at least one of these next 3 games, they will remain in first place. They are guaranteed to remain in first place in the division throughout this stretch. So again, take that, Bill Plaschke. Yeah, because that was the talk, right? Is that by the end of this, they were going to be out of playoff contention. They were going to have to battle to make their way back in. So really, really exciting stuff. On top of that, fellas, the thing that I'm most excited about is the prospect of getting these arms back, getting Blake Snell, getting Tyler Glass now, getting some of this bullpen help back at some point, because while everybody else is looking to make a deal, this feels sort of like the Dodgers making a trade without actually having to give anything up, right? I mean,
yeah, this is what happens every once in a while. Remember last year it was Mookie who was hurt for a long time, and it was Muncy who was hurt for a long time, and you got them back. It's like, oh, we're at the trade deadline. We're not going to make massive moves. They did make some moves, but you get Mookie back. You're like, oh, okay, that's filling in that gap. So it's the same type of deal. You get both of those guys back, a little more bullpen help, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is what this team was supposed to look like, and still is one of the best teams in baseball, despite the fact that we scream and cry every day.
You mentioned scream and cry, and we always talk about, we need to get starters into 7. It is funny that there's a possibility that they win this series against the Padres, and it's almost all bullpen games.
Yeah,
right. The Ohtani game, it was so good to see him back, but hey, that's a bullpen game. Granted, maybe we're considering Ben Kasparias at this point no longer bullpen games, just openers. But I get your point, Craig. I mean, this is going to be a really fun stretch, and we're going to start seeing people back. And Dodgers fans should have something to be excited for if they're not already through the moon.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a fantastic stretch. They've played well during this really, really difficult stretch. Coming to the end of it, still 3 more games against the Padres, a chance to really put some space between them and San Diego if they can get at least 3 of 4. And hey, man, if they can pull off a 4-game sweep, even better for the Dodgers there. Fine by me. That's a good spot for us, though, to pause for the day. Want to shout out the chat as always. Want to shout out the folks at LAX. Stick around. Travis and DeMarco coming up here on the ESPN LA YouTube channel. So stick with us for that. In the meantime, that'll do it for this edition of the Blue Review, presented by LAX. For Parker, for Greg, I am Marcus. We will see you tomorrow, 8:30 to 8:55, right here on the ESPN LA YouTube channel. Lasers!
See ya.
See ya.
The Blue Review.